Do you ever feel like there's a part of you that you try to hide from everyone, even yourself? Learning to love that part of yourself is essential for self-forgiveness, self-acceptance, and emotional healing. We call this shadow work. So, how can you deepen your self-compassion through shadow work? In this first part of a two-part series on my favorite topic in the world, self-compassion, I'm going to dive into, number one, my own experience with shadow work and how it's helped me in my life. Number two, how you can start to do this shadow work for yourself. And number three, why self-forgiveness is necessary for self-compassion. So what is shadow work? Well, shadow work is a practice of developing deeper self-awareness by becoming aware of the parts of ourselves that we've hidden, either because of shame, trauma, or any number of reasons. We are offering those parts of ourselves compassion and space to heal. Shadow work shows up for me often in my meditation practice and in my work as an artist, in my songwriting. So I've written a new album. It's called Amida. And on this project, I decided that I was going to be in touch with the places that felt really vulnerable and right from that place. And that's a type of shadow work. One of the lyrics on Amida comes from a song called Frozen Lake, and I'll share it with you here. Wish I knew then what I know now. How could I understand? I had to reach the end of self-loathing to find where love began. Writing a song like Frozen Lake is an example of shadow work because there are some parts of me that even though I've grown, I still feel shame for how I treated myself in the past. And this is a way of saying that out loud, but then also reassuring myself that you didn't know what you didn't know. You can't give what you don't have. I had to reach the end of self-loathing to find where love began. If you want to listen to that song, you can find it on my album, Amida. It's under my artist name, Born I, and I'll put a link to it in the show notes. Now, if you're trying to do shadow work for yourself, here are 3 great exercises to start. The first is meditation. Now, meditation is a really powerful way to practice shadow work because it gives you time to settle in your own mind and body and find the places that feel vulnerable. Find the places that you have possibly hidden from the outside world and from yourself because of shame, trauma, or any other reason. Being able to be in touch with these places and just give them kind attention is really the first step in practicing shadow work. Now, from there, you can work with 2 meditations that are on the Balance app. The first is forgiveness, and you can select the option to practice forgiveness for yourself. Practicing self-forgiveness is super important. Sometimes we might feel shame for hiding ourselves in this way, or we might feel that the reason why we've got this shadow part of ourselves is our own fault. Practicing self-forgiveness is a great way to free ourselves from feelings of shame or guilt and really begin the process of healing. The second meditation that I think is really powerful is the loving kindness meditation on the Balance app. And you can select the option to practice loving kindness for yourself. And this is a great way to begin to make your mind more familiar with being kind to yourself. Number 2, journaling for self-reflection. Journaling is a really powerful practice. And here is a prompt. What part of me do I try to hide from myself and others? And you can even follow up this prompt by asking yourself and journaling, what would it look like for me to be kind to this part of myself? And number 3, practicing the technique known as RAIN, where you recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. And this was taught to us by Tara Brach. When our emotions are triggered, we can acknowledge the parts of us that are causing that response, and over time, learn to love it. By recognizing, allowing, investigating, and nurturing this shadow part of ourselves, we can lean towards forgiving and accepting ourselves for who we are. That's what self-compassion is all about. You can check out our full episode with Tara Brach where she goes in depth on the practice of RAIN, and we'll put a link to that in the show notes as well. Embracing this shadow part of yourself will help lead you toward forgiving and accepting yourself for who you are. And that is what self-compassion is all about, becoming friends with all of you. So try the loving kindness meditation in the Balance app, or you can write your own song if you're into it.